over 45 years of experience, tons of 5-star Google reviews, and repeat customers spanning 4 decades, Coin & Jewelry Gallery pays fair, honest prices. Build security, build confidence, invest the right way. Trust Coin & Jewelry Gallery at Millhopper Shopping Center. Your future deserves real value and real expertise.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. He's been broadcasting Gator sports for more than 30 years. He's seen it all and spoken with everyone. This is Sports Scene with Steve Russell.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency. And brought to you in part by Campus USA Credit Union, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Doreen Wiebe Realtor, Meldon Law, UF Orthopedics, Atlantic Roofing, Ruzogra State Farm, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, Sensei Asian Bistro, and the head beer coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's the Dean of Gator Sports, Steve Russell.
Welcome into a Tuesday edition of Sports Scene as you listen on ESPN 98.1 FM 850 AM WRUF. I'm Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some sports. Tyler's going to produce this extravaganza today. Look, it's the beginning of the semester. Everything's kind of hustling and bustling. Ever have, you don't have enough hours in the day? Bingo. That's how it is today. But we will make it. We are broadcasting live from the Southeast Car Agency studio. You know about Southeast Car Agency. I've been telling you about them forever because I bought my cars from there forever. The best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Selection, quality, variety, longevity. Go see them today. When you do, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you. Also, our phone line, 392-8255. I want you to call, talk sports today. And that is our Titan MRI and Imaging phone line. 3 locations in Gainesville, 1 in Lake City to serve you better. Find out what they do. Go to their website, titanmri.com. The email is srussell@wruf.com, brought to you by the official jeweler of the Florida Gators, International Diamond Center. Engagement rings, wedding bands, watches, fine jewelry. Bottom line, the place to go for fine jewelry, International Diamond Center. Quality Plumbing, sponsoring the first hour of the show. When you need a quality plumber, rely on the same company Gainesville has trusted since way back in 1984. Indeed, their name does say it all, Quality Plumbing. If you have a Facebook Live question, Tyler gets it to me courtesy of Ruzogra State Farm. Visit ograinsurance.com to learn about 2 locations in Gainesville and Newberry and find the right insurance options for you and your family. YouTube questions courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union, where Coach Spurrier does his banking. Founded on the UF campus, serving our community for 90 years. And all of our guests come to you courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. Meldon Law won't back down. Some quick news. Florida men's basketball will face off against Baylor next month, Sunday, October 18th, Sunday, October 18th, an exhibition game in the Jacks Memorial Arena. Tickets go on sale September 16th. So Florida's first exhibition game since 2021 and their first one against the Division I opponent since 2017. So make plans for that. Don't forget, Gator Talk coming up, moving to Monday nights, 7 p.m. at the Swamp Restaurant in Gainesville. John Sumrall, along with the voice of the Gators, Sean Kelly. First show this Monday. Each show 7 to 8 p.m. So hopefully you will tune in. All right, today. I don't know if you saw this, but it's getting more bizarre when it comes to all this business about players who have gone to the NFL and then go back to college. The SEC is not happy about it. Released a statement late yesterday. And by the way, they're supposed to, they already had a pre-planned meeting. They're going to be meeting this week. The SEC said athletes who choose to leave college and sign pro contracts should not be permitted to return to college competition. I don't know if you saw this. R.J. Luis, pretty good basketball player, received a temporary injunction to play for LSU this season. Last night, the SEC presidents and chancellors held a video conference, and here's the exact statement. College athletes, not former professional athletes, have been at the heart of the Southeastern Conference. Individuals who choose to leave college athletics, sign pro playing contracts, and compete professionally should not then be permitted to return to college competition. Allowing that to occur will blur the line between college and professional sports. I have to laugh at that. Create significant competitive equity concerns and reduce opportunities for high school and current college athletes. College sports are for college athletes. The current confusion around national eligibility standard emphasizes the need to advance the Protect College Sports Act. Okay. Call me cynical, okay? Listen to this line, okay? Allowing that to occur will blur the line between college and pro sports. But it's okay in college sports if you do the same thing you do to pro athletes, and that's pay them. That's okay. Oh, we'll look the other way about that, but by God, you can't go from the pros back to college. Now, I'm not saying I'm for that either, but that to me is the height of hypocrisy. If you agree, let me know. If you don't, let me know as well. But when I saw that, I laughed out loud. You're kidding, right? You're kidding. Allowing that to occur will blur the line between college and professional sports. As if the line isn't blurred now. There has to be a point, I think, that you draw a line someplace. But again, that to me is just ridiculous. The Big Ten is moving a step further, apparently. They're set to pass a rule today that will not allow players to return from the NFL and play for one of its schools. Any player who declared for the draft and didn't withdraw, appeared on an NFL roster or signed a contract with a pro league, cannot be on a Big Ten roster. We'll see if that actually comes to pass. But anyway, and then today, with the season coming up, it was interesting to me. We've seen a lot of coaches come and go here. So let's just use football today. New coach. How much time do you give John Sumrall? And let's just say it's 3 years. Okay? What is your expectation then as to where the program would be in year 3? In other words, your expectation to where Sumrall would stay. Okay? So there you are. We will have the new head football coach at Gainesville High School, with us today. Talk about his team. In the meantime, 392-8255 is the Titan MRI Imaging phone line. International Diamond Center email, askrussell@wruf.com. Byron, hello.
Steve, this is what you call a cop-out, and you know I do this on some of your questions. In year 3, we're going to be so good and have won a championship by then. I don't think that's a moot question. I mean, I don't think we're going to be talking about that because I think this guy's turning it around. And I say that a lot, Steve, but sometimes I don't really get this into it. But I do like the quarterback. I like the whole campus this year where everybody's competing, running backs. I just like competition, and I like a little military. He just looked like a sergeant in the Marines. And let me go into my next thing, Steve. You know what I love about your show, Steve, and congratulations. You are a dean of sports talk radio. Is, man, I like to disagree. I don't say I'm a devil's advocate like you, but sometimes I just like to argue just to kind of get the crowd going. But today with that college thing, Steve, it makes no sense. I mean, I like to hear a lawyer called up and defend that. Man, how could you go to – it's the money must be, Steve. All I can say is you're making more money in college than pros. That's ridiculous. But, Steve, I got a question for you because I've been on here too long and I know you got callers. Steve, Jacksonville and Tampa are doing this joint practice thing. Seems like it's a lot this year. First, I want to ask you, do you think that's good? Do you like that? I do. And do you think that helps?
I'm ambivalent about it. I think it does give you somebody else to hit, to go up against other than your teammates all the time. I think that's good. But most of the players hate it. Hate it.
I know. Fights.
Yeah, and we've seen that.
Mm-hmm. And number 2, Steve, I've been listening to Emmett Golden. I like him. He's out of Cleveland. And Cleveland in trouble. Deshaun Watson, man. But Shedeur might get that job, Steve. And I'm not knocking Shedeur. I don't have no race and dog. But I don't know. But Shedeur is looking good. But, Steve, they were making this comment, and this is Cleveland fans, to Tampa. We let Baker go. Don't make the same mistake. Look at Jalen and the Tampa. Do you think, Steve, they should go ahead and try to make a deal and hold Baker and do what Aaron Rodgers, what they did with Love, something like that situation? I like that. Bringing him along slow, or just maybe don't try to do the deal and hope this young guy can get in there and do it for Tampa. What do you think Tampa should be trying to do, if that makes sense?
I mean, I'm not privy to their salary cap.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
I'm not privy to what their budget is, what they want to spend on a quarterback. But Baker Mayfield is a proven commodity to me, so and he's done a pretty good job with them. Now, you can make an argument with Baker Mayfield, they've been a 500 team. Well, is that his fault? Probably not.
No,
so I would probably lean to sign him.
And last, Steve, baseball, man, I'm liking the Rays won a game or two here. And, Steve, I think that the small market teams, maybe Milwaukee and them, might have a chance against the Dodgers and the big Yankees and those guys. But do you think some of this negotiating that they're doing need to be done because it might make baseball a little more where the smaller teams have the chance to win? Or is it a moot point that they're already winning like it is now? Thank you, Steve, if that makes sense, and enjoy your show, man. I'm ready for football, Steve. Can I say, go Gators?
Byron, thank you. I'm not quite sure what you mean by the baseball thing, but it's very simple. Owners want a salary cap, players don't. And with a salary cap, you can then make the smaller market teams have more money. But the players don't care about that. Daryl, I got to have you call back because my first guest is coming up, but I do want to hear from you. And we'll take a break and hopefully have Gainesville High School's new football coach on with us. We always take a look at prep football during the year. You're listening to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Southeast Car Agency studio on WRUF. Hey, it's Steve Russell for Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. Friends, they've been in business for 45-plus years, and the Cousins family has done just one thing, but man, they've done it right. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late-model, low-mileage vehicles. I'm driving one right now, have been for a very long time. They've treated me right. They'll do the same thing for you. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville.
For 60 years, GW Homes has has been building beautiful homes and helping families build great lives right here in Alachua County. GW Homes is Alachua County's luxury home builder, known for exceptional craftsmanship, thoughtful design, and a commitment to quality. And as a proud third-generation family-owned company, they know what it means to build for generations. Ready to build your dream home? Visit the GW Homes model this weekend or talk with a GW Homes team member today. Explore more at gwhomes.com. That's gwhomes.com. Nobody does catering like P.F. Chang's. Elevate your gathering with our buffet-style catering pans, packed with bold flavors and generous portions of your favorite dishes. We make it easy to serve and even easier to enjoy. From chopsticks to dessert, everything's ready for pickup or delivered right to your door. Choose individual meals, customizable catering packages, or build your own perfect feast. P.F. Chang's Catering. Your feast perfected. Order now at pfchangs.com/catering.
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their pressed ciabatta pesto chicken with fries, grilled chicken, assorted roast peppers, mushrooms, mozzarella, and pesto aiul.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
Craving bold, authentic Cuban flavor? Head to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings the taste of Cuba straight to your table. From iconic Cuban sandwiches and fresh flaky empanadas to rich café con leche and perfectly sweet plantains. Every dish is made fresh daily for a true Latin experience. Proudly serving the community for over 23 years. And a proud supporter of the Florida Gators, Mi Apa now features 6 convenient locations ready to welcome you. Dine-in, drive-thru, to-go, or catering, Mi Apa is your choice for crowd-pleasing Cuban favorites. Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami.
In a world of big banks, there's only one truly local choice in Gainesville, Gala Bank. Locally owned and operated, Gala Bank is built by people who live here, work here, and care about this community. With over 350 years of combined banking experience, you'll always get trusted guidance and personal service you can count on. And with convenient 7 to 7 hours, Monday through Saturday, banking works around your schedule, not the other way around. Local bank, local people. Gala Bank. Member FDIC.
Foodies, this is not a drill. Sensei Asian Bistro is now open in Celebration Point, right next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, and it's bringing bold Japanese French fusion flavors you won't find anywhere else. We're talking smoked New York strip, rich matcha curry, melt-in-your-mouth Chilean sea bass, and the fan-favorite Chunggang chili chicken. Feeling adventurous? Dive into fresh crudo oysters or treat yourself to A5 Wagyu tataki. Add in handcrafted cocktails, and you've got your next night out covered. Sensei Asian Bistro. Come hungry, leave impressed.
This summer, Hard Rock Bet has the hottest baseball betting odds in Florida. Vig, juice, fee, whatever you call it, we're cutting it. It's the 10-cent summer sale. That's flat 10-cent lines for winner, spread, and over-under pregame bets. Same bets, better odds. This August, only on Hard Rock Bet.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Valid for money line, spread and over, under pregame markets with odds between -250 and +250 only. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Hunt for October continues right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. You know, with the Gators season right around the corner, already it's week 2 for area high school football. And my pleasure for the first time, because he's the brand new coach at Gainesville High School. Ashur Pira is going to join us now. He's the new head man at Gainesville High School, coming off a tough overtime loss against Bellevue in their opener. Coach, good to have you. Welcome. Thanks for doing this.
Man, I really appreciate it. I'm very humbled to be able to be on the show.
Well, I appreciate you doing it. Let's go back to the first game. Toughie. It's always tough to lose in overtime. Looking back at the tape, what did you see? What did you like?
You know, there's for us, although it seems like a tough loss, and many losses are, the amount of progress that this team has made has been very, very exciting to be around. You know, I don't think anyone expected us to be in that game or to make the strides that this team has made. So that's been very positive. I think there were a lot of good things on the film. We expected mistakes to happen. Having only been here for a month and a half now, working with the guys, you're not able to install everything that you want. You can't go over every situational part of football to prepare. But I think with the limited time that we had, these guys did a tremendous job.
Yeah, that is a short amount of time. I always ask new coaches when they come on, how'd you get into coaching?
Well, I'll take you back 30 years.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. It's I grew up in Chicago and started with youth football. I just started a little flag football team for inner city kids that started in the parking lot of an elementary school. I bought the flags and a little rubber football, and it just kept growing, and more kids wanted to participate. So to make a long story short, that program just kept growing, and then I got into coaching in high school and got into coaching in college, and here I am now. I never knew it would become a career.
You know, you look at, because you haven't been on the job very long, how many kids are out? Do you like the depth of your team? What do you think the strength of your team is here going into week 2?
So when I first got here, our first workout was July 6th. And there were approximately 30 kids in the program. Right now, I'm looking at our full roster. We have 83 kids in our program.
Wow.
So that's been tremendous, just getting the buy-in, getting a change in the culture. You know, I believe that kids want discipline. They want structure, even when they say they don't. I think they need it. And that's kind of what they've been gravitating to. I think some of our strengths are, we actually do have good leaders on this team, with Byron Jones being one of them, a senior, Zanre Rochelle, Tyler Pira, my son, who joined the team. I mean, we've got some really good core guys. Dwayne Kincaid, another senior that's been helping lead us. And one that has been tremendous for us and has really hurt our hearts has been Sebastian Jimenez, who him and his family were recently picked up by ICE, and they're facing deportation right now, and our community is really hurt by it. He's currently in a holding facility in Texas, separated from the rest of his family that's in Jacksonville. This is a tremendous young man that plays 3 sports here, works in the community, family, law-abiding citizens, and they were just picked up in the middle of the night, taken without anybody knowing, and now we're trying to deal with it and see what we can do to help. So I'm hoping to get the word out about it.
Wow. Boy, I don't know where to go after that, but let's talk, I guess, week 2. Right away, city rivalry game, really good Buchholz team. What do you see of Buchholz on tape?
Yeah, I mean, you see the same things you see out of them every year. Mark Whittemore does a great job in preparing his teams, and they have quite a bit of depth. I think they rely heavily on their offensive line, but they have the ability to stretch the ball down the field as well. Defensively, they're always solid. Defensive coordinator does a great job preparing them. It's going to be a tough matchup for us. I know in the past it's been kind of lopsided, and I think for us it's just a measure of progress for us.
Yeah, I know one thing. You get in those city rivalry games, practices don't need a whole lot of juice. There should be pretty good juice getting ready for this weekend, right?
Oh, no doubt. I mean, it's just exciting to play a game. We're taking it quarter by quarter. Last week, we learned a lesson that you could win 3 quarters and lose 1 quarter, and that could cost you the game. So we're still going through that learning process right now, just how to manage a whole game.
Okay, I'm going to add, if you beat Buchholz, Coach, what's got to go right for you?
We don't really talk in terms of winning or losing around here.
Okay.
We just talk in improvement. So for us to improve this week, we definitely need to limit our penalties. We can't self-destruct at any point in the game. They're too good of a team. They'll capitalize on your mistakes. So it's really about limiting the mistakes and continuing to do the things that we do well and improve on those so we can build off of it. That's really how we're approaching it. I will remember next time you're here, because we do want you back as the year goes along.
Yes, I'll ask where you're improving. I'll make sure I made a note of that. So I'll get that in. Appreciate you, Coach. Thank you, and we'll have you back. Good luck this weekend.
Fantastic. Thanks again.
You got it, Coach. Thank you. Ashore Pira, the new head coach at Gainesville High School, joining us here on Sports Scene. You'll hear from Mark Whittemore later in the week as that big city rivalry game takes place this weekend. All right. We will open the phone lines back for you, 392-8255, and you can email srussell@wruf.com. James, International Diamond Center email. I might be in the minority. Honestly, if a player gets cut from an NFL roster, has a year of eligibility left, I have no issue with them returning to college. College football is the de facto minor league for the NFL. I don't see this much different from Major League Baseball spring training, or more closely, college basketball players previously playing professionally overseas. I do think there's a difference here, though, James. And remember, this has to do with basketball. They've cracked down on that as well, and I get it. Brian, while I'm not in favor of what LSU is doing, I can only wonder how we as Gator fans would feel if Kiffin would have been hired as the head coach, as many of us wanted, and he was doing exactly the same thing at Florida. I'm not saying it's right. I wonder how we as a fan base would be acting if these players were coming to Florida with Kiffin as the head coach. Besides the quarterback being settled, are there any other position battles up for grabs? Do you feel the starters are decided before the first game? I think the majority are, but I think there's always, and we'll see in that first week, Brian, when the depth chart comes out. But I think most of the 22 have a starter at this point. All right, let me get a call here from Daryl. Daryl, hi.
Steve, thank you, sir. You got me laughing about the opening statement. Blur the line between college and pro football. Come on, man.
Yeah, way it is.
Yeah, it's just, these kids are making all this money now in the college athletics, I mean, heck, you can't blame some of them,
No, I don't blame them, but it's just laughable when you say that, and, there's $40 million rosters. That's okay. Come on.
Yeah, I agree. Something's got to be done about it because it's out of line. But, Steve, your question today about, Florida in the future, how many years? I say 3 to 4, Steve. We're making progress on the cusp of making the playoffs. But in today's fan base, would the fans give somebody 3 to 4 years now? Even if we're on the cusp of making the playoffs in 3 years.
I think it depends. That's why I put the addendum on that about where do you think the program should be. For example, let's not use Summerall. Coach X is a first-year head coach at a school, and that school has struggled, okay? It has tradition. It's won championships, but they've struggled. So he's hired to resurrect that pedigree, right? So by year 3, let's say he goes, 7-5, 8-4, and 8-4. You're not in the college football playoff. Then what? You're not bad, certainly, but you're also not elite. And I think what this coach is going to be judged on is getting to the playoff in a period of time. 8-4 is fine, and and that's why I asked about the years. If that scenario happened, if they went 7-5, 8-4, 8-4, do I think Summerall or any other coach would be fired? No. But I do think the 4th year for the fan base, a lot of the fan base would say it's got to be better than 8-4.
Yeah. Steve, you probably agree with me. Fan bases now are less patient than they used to be.
Oh, sure, because of social media. No question. Yes.
Yeah, back in the 70s, could you imagine what would happen if we had social media back then? The years that Florida went through in the early 80s. My gosh, everybody would probably been fired in. But you did dial a score, and you probably heard it back then,
Oh, I'm telling you, I went through Doug Dickey, and so, yes, I remember as a student taking those calls, fire Doug Dickey. Yeah, That was a lot of years ago.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
All right. Thank you, Daryl. Speaking of that, I saw Doug Dickey last night. I was invited to Coach Spurrier's 60th wedding anniversary party. He and Jerry have been married for 60 years. That's just incredible. And I'm going to play some interviews that I did while I was there. But it was so much fun to see him at his restaurant and a lot of people. But Doug Dickey was there, and he looks great. He looks great. Saw Jimmy Ray Stevens there. Dr. Pete Delicato there. A lot of Steve Spurrier Jr. was there. A lot of people and a lot of his former players from different schools, which I'm going to get to. By the way, Brian, I think you asked about 5 years. Under the new age-based rule, student athletes who meet all eligibility requirements and enter college no later than the academic year after their 19th birthday generally will have 5 years of eligibility. Some call it the 5 for 5 rule. Well, the age-based rules actually centers on a student athlete's age and when the student initially enrolls full-time in college. It doesn't guarantee 5 years for all student athletes, particularly those who delay enrollment. But generally speaking, 5 for 5 is the new norm now. We'll take a break, come back. More to come. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
Stream all of our shows on YouTube. Search WRUF, home of the Gators.
Your heart health matters. That's why Titan MRI and Imaging and Gainesville Open MRI are offering a coronary calcium scan for just $99. This quick, painless CT scan takes about 15 minutes and can help identify calcified plaque in your heart's arteries, giving you valuable insight to your future heart attack risk. The results provide a calcium score that can help your doctor determine the best preventive care plan for you. Schedule your scan today at GainesvilleOpenMRI.com. Live longer, live healthier. Titan MRI and Imaging with 3 convenient locations in Gainesville and Lake City, serving you better.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
The head ball coach scores again. Steve Spurrier's head beer coach 1966 American Lager is now available everywhere at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Smooth and refreshing with just enough of a crisp finish. Also available at most places you buy beer. If you don't see it, ask for it.
A beer made by Gators for Gators. Make a great play and enjoy a cold one today.
Steve Spurrier's head beer coach 1966 American Lager. Please drink responsibly.
If you're looking for premium, high-quality food served in an unforgettable atmosphere, you're going to love brunch at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill.
This is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet.
Complete with build-your-own omelet station, served every Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Reservations are encouraged, and walk-ins are always welcome.
Plus, you can enjoy bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
After you work out, you can feel worn out.
reach for core power, and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
The Tailgate with Jeff Cardozo and Zach Alvaverdi. Weekdays at 4, right here on WRUF.
Where's Mark Wise when you need him? Little EWF here. He's seen Earth, Wind, and Fire like 100 times. I mean, and he loves them. By the way, I didn't want to ask Coach Pira this because he did serve as Florida's director of football logistics under Billy Napier. So he went, and now he's coaching at Gainesville High School. So congratulations to him, but I didn't want to bring that up. All right. We will open phone lines, 392-8255, email srussell@wruf.com. Mark's email, we know about portal tampering. What if nothing's done to prevent other schools from doing what LSU is doing? Imagine this, a different form of tampering. Player X is a late-round draft pick. His chances of making the team are slim. But a college team with plenty to spend needs a player X's caliber. So they reach out to Player X and tamper, telling Player X if he does not make his NFL team, they'll offer him an amount of money that's more than double what Player X will make if he makes the roster after camp. If I'm Player X, I may try to get cut. I know this sounds crazy, but now we're in the crazy. Mark, it is crazy, but given everything today, the scenario that you lay out, I don't think is out of whack at all. And again, how are people going to stop it? That's what I think we all want to understand. So we will find out. But I want to get your thoughts on this. Do you have any? I just think we've gotten to the point now where we are at ridiculousness. And why are we there? Because everybody competes, and if you don't compete, you get fired. That's how this is. By the way, teams that have named quarterbacks, Vanderbilt named Blaze Berlowitz. Yeah, Blaze Berlowitz as their starting quarterback. They've got a 5-star freshman there, Curtis, who was thought to maybe win the job, but he, Curtis, apparently will get chances to play. Now, again, I don't know how, where, but they've got home games against Austin Peay, Delaware, and NC State, and they play SEC play. They start SEC play at Auburn. So we'll see. Pavia, losing him, obviously, a big deal. And we'll see if Vanderbilt can do what they've been doing with a quarterback that doesn't have a whole lot of experience. I thought today would be easy. I want to know again if where you sit as far as judging a coach, okay? What happens? How long do you give a coach now? And what do you think the expectation needs to be at that time? I believe in Summerall's case, again, unique to Florida and its situation, that it would 3 years and 3 years either be in or at the cusp of being in the playoff. We will see. Did you see this too? Ole Miss. I've interviewed Lane Kiffin once. Good interview. Not a lot of personality in it, but good interview. But he might be, and maybe I'll ask this question. Who do you think are the 5 most polarizing figures in college athletics? He's one of them. Without question, he's one of them. The executive director of Ole Miss's NIL Collective said the FBI searched Ole Miss's football office for recording devices after Kiffin left for LSU. The FBI searched for bugs in the office at the Manning Center once he left. Think of that. Okay? Think of that. The FBI got called in. This is a college football coach we are talking about. And the freaking FBI is in there looking for bugs in the office. What the hell is going on here? It's just, look, I don't know about you. Week 0 can't come fast enough. Just so we can see a game, for crying out loud, and not have to worry about, is the guy from the NFL going? Is somebody bugging? Just, could we play here? Daryl, hello.
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
I don't know. Okay.
Hey, give me what you think on the lines of scrimmage, some of the starters, maybe potential projected starters, the lines of scrimmage and the defensive backfield, too. We hear a lot about the skill players on offense. What about the lines of scrimmage on both sides and the defensive backfield? What do you see? What do you see the players, starters there maybe?
I'll do that later because it would take a long time to do now.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be pretty evident here because the first depth chart will be released next week before the game. Somebody asked me this earlier. I think right now, I'm not saying there's not positional battles going on. I think there are. But I think for the most part, you've got starters. And, I think the question mark might be a bit on the offensive line. Who will the actual starting 5 be? Maybe in the secondary there might be, a couple of places where it's up for grabs a little bit. But I think, for the most part, you've got, in my opinion, you have starters. Now, we'll see what Summerall has to say. Okay.
Yeah, I think the corners, it's pretty, trying to figure out, Johnson and McLean, is it going to be those two or Hanks or the young kid that played last year? So,
and that's why I think it's hard to say who a starter would be because I think there is still open competition, at least as far
battles,
as – yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. I appreciate it, my man.
Sure. Thank you, Daryl. D, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, Steve? Give you a ring here. What I expect from the coach, Steve, they say in college and the pros, you play the game on Saturday and Sunday, but you win the game during the week of preparation. And what I want to see is what the work, the preparation translate onto the field on Saturday. It was just too many times with the last coach where I did not see that. I saw too many slow starts, losing home games, sideline operations, special teams, just nonsense. Not too many men on the field, not enough men on the field. Just elementary stuff that a coach at this level should have buttoned up. So that's what I want to see, and I also want to see the coach being able to make adjustments on the fly. Like after Napier had his scripted drives, we score. As soon as the other team made their adjustment, he had no adjustment for the adjustments that they made. So you got to be able to make adjustments on the fly. And like you said, Steve, by year 3, we need to be, shaking the leaves to the playoffs, man, because you know what our favorite song is, man. And by year 3, if it ain't shaking, then the Gator Nation is gonna be playing that song. So year 1 is the honeymoon, but after that, man, it's all systems need to be moving quickly.
Yeah, and I don't think that's unrealistic. In this day and age, back in the day, if you fired a coach, there was probably a pretty good reason. Maybe the roster wasn't that good. It took you a little time. Well, now that's all changed. I mean, you can get players a lot more quickly because of the money, and you can get good in a hurry. And we've seen teams do that. So, yeah, I think that's got to be the place that Summerall's in year 3. I think.
Yeah, Stephen, we got to start winning road games, man. We've got to start winning road games. And like I told you last year, man, I just think with Napier, man, there was no hope, there was no expectation of winning some of these road games, man. I think, that Auburn game is going to tell a lot, man. I know it's a little while away, but man, that's such a big game because if he can pull that off, man, that's gonna be a feather in his cap and it's gonna have us believing in again in the team. So we'll see. Hopefully, it won't take long. But I like this coach, man. I think he's got an urgency to him, Steve. He knows he don't have time to waste, and he don't have 4 or 5 years to build a team. So I think he knows he's got to hit the ground running quickly.
All right, appreciate you, D. Good to hear from you. Thank you for your call. Bernard, hang in. I got to pay some bills here. We'll take a break. We will come back as we broadcast live from the Southeast Car Agency Studio, brought to you this first hour by our friends at Quality Plumbing. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
At International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange, you'll find transparent pricing, same-day evaluations, expert craftsmanship, and a team committed to treating every customer with honesty and respect. And you never know who you'll see shopping there. Music stars, sports stars, and savvy collectors all know where to go when they're searching for exceptional value and luxury timepieces. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, or restoring a treasured piece, visit International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange on West University Avenue in Gainesville.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators! At Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC, 2026 GMC Sierra $399 per month, 2026 Chevy Silverado $379 per month. Plus get 0% financing for 60 months and no payments for 90 days on new Chevy Silverado. Come see us today at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC and GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $69.99 due at signing, plus tax, tag, title, and dock. All rebates and incentives to dealer. May include loyalty, subject to lender approval. $16.66 per thousand financed at 0 APR for 60 months. Offers don't combine. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable, and when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
For more than 50 years of quality service, Archer Electric Service Company has been Gainesville's choice for residential and commercial electrical work. Whether you need wiring, repairs, or backup generator installation, we treat every client like family with professional, clean, dependable service. Don't wait for the storm or the flicker to remind you. Visit ArcherElectricService.com today for a free consultation and see why we've been Gainesville and the surrounding area's most trusted electricians for decades.
Our Town Magazine and the Builders Association of North Central Florida invite you to the Our Town Home and Garden Show, August 29th and 30th at the Sports Events Center at Celebration Point, presented by Entrust Roofing and Visit Gainesville, featuring over 150 vendors with exclusive deals for all of your home, garden, and patio needs, from landscaping inspiration to the latest upgrades and renovation projects. Tickets are only $5 and children 10 and under are free. Check us out online at GainesvilleHomeandGarden.com. We'll see you there.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Cloud cover increasing through the afternoon. Temperatures today in the lower 90s, 92 in Gainesville. We'll start to see storms pop up near the Gulf Coast, and storms that develop today will generally track from west to east across our area. A few storms this evening could be on the stronger side. Then tonight, a few showers lingering through about midnight. Temperatures falling to the lower 70s. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
If it happens in Gator Nation, you hear it on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Well, leave it to Patrick, because he is a little on the, not odd, that's not the right word, but he gives you a different tilt. He says, let's talk some tennis. Who you got winning the U.S. men, or the U.S. Open men and women? I'll be blunt about this. I have spent about 0 seconds on this. But I will say this. I'm going to pick an upset for the women, and I don't know why, but I'm going to go with Osaka. I don't know why. Sabalenka probably is the favorite there. And Carlos is going to win the men. Somebody's going to have to knock him off. And I'd love to pick Ben Shelton. I just don't think, I hope I'm wrong, but there you go. All right. Bernard, welcome.
Hey, Steve, Ben Shelton, he does okay until he gets to those majors, and then it's Skinner and Alcaraz, and I think. But, hey, college football, Steve, based on yesterday, it's good to see, I guess, the presidents met, and at least they're trying to do something as a unit. I listened to you earlier. I don't know whether you're in agreement with it or not, but at least that's to me, that's a step in the direction. You know, you had Alabama with Charles Bediako doing basketball. At some point, the schools have to say, no, we're not going to go in this direction. Steve, the football program, that everybody's upcoming season, and you used to say something. You haven't said it in a while. You know, I know we want to get back to the playoffs, but we look at this schedule, we got to get to the point where when you look at a Missouri, whether it's in Missouri or here, we can look at the schedule and confidently say that's a win. The same thing about Kentucky. I would like for us to start there and work our way. With that saying, Steve, I think this could be when Spurrier got here and when Dan Mullen got here. I think Billy Napier left some talent here. I think we need to avoid some injuries in some key spots. You got two supposedly big-time coordinators. I could see possibly this team winning maybe I think most people say 8. I would go a step and say maybe 9, or possibly if you get lucky, if like Spurs say God smile on the Gators, they could possibly win 10 games. I think there's some talent on this roster for this team to bring a surprise or two this year.
Possible. I think it depends if your glass is half empty or half full. Because I don't disagree with what you're saying about the Missouris and the South Carolinas and the Kentuckys. You know, that it used to be you played those teams and Florida beat them, period. That was it. Vanderbilt, too. But the league has gotten so much better. And, you know, Arkansas maybe is the worst team in the league. Maybe. And Arkansas obviously has a proud tradition. Auburn's rebuilding. So, you know, I've done this long enough to know it's cyclical. And even Alabama isn't what Alabama used to be under Saban. So the only constant is change, and we'll see if Florida can, you know, do some changing under Summerall.
Larry said to close by saying this: Vanderbilt has picked a quarterback, and it's not the 5-star, but he's going to play.
Right.
Steve is probably in this deal, the contract that he has to play, you know, so he will play, and we'll see how it works out. Steve, take care and have a great day, okay?
All right, thank you. I'm not going to say that could not be put in the contract, but if I were coaching, I wouldn't accept it. Just me. All right, we'll end with some International Diamond Center emails. Dustin, there's an article he sent me about how Anthony Richardson's fighting back from adversity. He'll probably stick with the Colts. Lucas says, for the coach, 3 years, be in the conversation for the playoff or be in it. Roger, end of 3 years, we better be in the playoffs or in the first 2 or 3 out at worst. If the playoffs are further expanded, then it's playoffs or bust. I know summer's all over. I've thought of this many times recently as a graduate of UF's Exercise and Sports Science program, degreed in sports administration. Have you ever thought about having some professors from that college as guests? No. At least 2 courses he had. I think it would be interesting if he had a history buff, history of sports and sociology of sports. I don't know, Roger, how that would go with the sports fan. Because, I mean, history of sports, I think if you're into sports, you know it. But I appreciate it. Never say never, Roger. I've learned that. Frank, Gator fans were patient with Napier because Mullen didn't recruit well. He needed extra time to build depth, and he did. Just didn't coach him well. Summerall able to retain most of the depth, add a top 10 recruiting class to that. They might make the playoffs next year, depending on how well they're coached now. Still too many unknowns to say much more. September 5th can't come quickly enough. Yeah, I hear you there. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Hour 2 of Sports Scene coming your way. Again, many thanks to Quality Plumbing for sponsoring the first hour of the show. And don't forget, all of our guests come to you courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971, the only injury law firm partner of the Florida Gators. More Sports Scene, more time to hear from you on ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WRUF.
Your home for the Tampa Bay Rays is WRUF.
Want to get your brand noticed? At Radware, we help you stand out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com and let your brand shine.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
College football is about to kick off, and there's no better way to experience every touchdown, every big play, and every unforgettable rivalry than with a stunning new home theater system from Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, surveillance, and smart home solutions, delivering the best products, the best service, and the best price. Don't just watch the game, live it at Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, home surveillance, and smart home installation and service. Visit electronicsworldfl.com for more. That's electronicsworldfl.com.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. He's been broadcasting Gator sports for more than 30 years. He's seen it all and spoken with everyone. This is Sports Scene with Steve Russell.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency. And brought to you in part by Campus USA Credit Union, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Doreen Wiebe Realtor, Meldon Law, UF Orthopedics, Atlantic Roofing, Ruzogra State Farm, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, Sensei Asian Bistro, and the head beer coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's the Dean of Gator Sports, Steve Russell.
Welcome into hour 2 of Sports Scene for this Tuesday. Tyler, our producer today, as you listen on WRUF. Many thanks to Quality Plumbing for sponsoring the first hour, hour 2, brought to you in part by our friends at Gator Domino's. And they are perfect for lunch, dinner, or those late night cravings. Nobody delivers like Domino's. Whether you're picking up or ordering delivery, fast, easy, just a click away. Order now at GatorDomino's.com. We're talking a lot good. By the way, really good day today in terms of your interest in calls and things. Tomorrow, by the way, some of you have done this. I'll try to give you a position-by-position rundown tomorrow because a lot of people want to know. And again, coming from me or anybody else, where it matters is from Summerall, but I'll give you whatever the 2 cents is. Okay, we're coming to you live today, as always, from the Southeast Car Agency studio. They have been in their business since way back in 1979. The best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Been driving one for years. When you go see them in person, you know what to do. You tell them Sports Scene sent you. If you have Facebook Live questions, Ruzogra gives us those. You can visit ograinsurance.com to learn more about their locations in Gainesville and Newberry. And YouTube questions, Campus USA Credit Union, serving our community for 90 years. Let's make a good second hour here. Phone calls, Titan MRI Imaging phone line, 392-8255. International Diamond Center email, srussell@wruf.com. Swampy McGee will lead off hour 2. What's up?
Hello, sir. I saw Chris Harry, that Gator writer. He posted something cool on Twitter. Coach Spurrier, 60th wedding anniversary yesterday, looking awesome at age 81. So rock on, longevity legends. And I'd like to shout out to my friend Ron Chester. He listens sometimes. He loves your show. He's in Gainesville. He's a Gator from the 60s, so I hope he's listening. And also Ray Merrill. They're like long-term Gators. I'm a Gator from 87. Emmett Smith, touchdown back when there was like artificial turf. Anyway, Operation 9-3, right? Summerall Gators, 9-3, 6-0 at home. And then I don't know about Georgia or Texas, but that Auburn game's going to be huge. So find a quarterback by then, whether it's this guy or the other guy. And is Will Griffin getting snaps in the first 2 games, or are they going to redshirt him?
I would imagine he'd get snaps.
And what do you think his strengths are compared to the other two? And who's the best runner? Because I'm guessing it's Drones, but I don't know. And what kind of offense do they really want to run?
I could probably spend now till 2 o'clock with that. Look, Philo is the starter because I believe in part because of his familiarity with Buster Faulkner's offense. And taking nothing away from Trammell Jones. I don't think, and again, I've not heard Summerall mention this. I think Will Griffin is very talented, but I don't think he was seriously in the mix to be the starter here. I think it was more or less a 2-person thing. And look, on offense, what do you really want to do? You want to be balanced. And if it's me, you get the ball to your playmakers. I mean, Jaden Ball has got to touch the football a bunch of times. Those wide receivers have got to be targeted.
Is he a Heisman candidate? Is Jaden Ball a Heisman candidate?
I wouldn't go
these
that
lists, and it's
far.
like he's way up there.
I wouldn't go that far yet, but let's see what he does. He could be, I think, yes. And, it all starts up front, though, Swampy McGee, and that's what people forget. You can talk about the skill people all you want. If you can't block anybody, it doesn't matter. So I think Phil Troutwine's group has to be really improved. And, again, for Florida's shortcomings last year, had a couple of guys on the offensive line drafted who are now in the National Football League. So we'll see how they do.
Those dang road games at Missouri, October 3rd. Come on, Gators. And then what? At Kentucky, November 14th. You got to get those. And then at the Knolls. 9-3 if possible. And that, when you look at this, the way this is now, 9-3 gets you playoffs, or at least potentially there. It's hope. There's possibility.
All right. I appreciate you, Swampy Gator. Thank you. And there is hope. I don't think there's any question there's hope. All right, YouTube question. Campus USA Credit Union, Mortal Gym. The NCAA, conferences and schools don't want it to be pro. They don't want a players' union, collective bargaining, or to be taxed. I don't know. I think, well, first of all, I'm not saying if you're the governing body, if you're the NCAA, that it's easy. It's not. But a lot of things in life aren't easy. And if you are hired to do something, you're expected to do it well. The NCAA, in my humble opinion, has failed miserably in many areas in college athletics. And it's in part why we're in the mess we're in now. MJ, at this point, college is a pro sport. NFL has to compete with college football and make sure they're still seen as the better opportunity for dollars. I asked about the 5 most polarizing figures in sports. Mark, I don't have a top 5, but LSU may have 3 of the 5. Kiffin, Mulkey, and Wade. Yeah, they don't hire wallflowers at LSU, do they? That is for sure. They do not do that. There is no question about that. By the way, next Monday, August 31, it's the beginning of game week. It's also the beginning of this year's Inside the Huddle with the head ball coach, the Gator QB Shane Matthews, and yours truly. New time for the show. It is going to be 11 a.m. Shane and I will do 12 to 1. I'll do 1 to 2. That'll be Mondays during football season. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. And again, it starts Monday, as finally we are going to be in a game week mode. And it's been, I don't know, a lot of times off seasons fly. This one didn't. International Diamond Center email, Bob, it is long. I have to shorten this. I agree 100% with your expectations of a new coach's first 3 years tenure with a new team. I feel give a minimum of 3 years and see improvement in each of those years. Competing for a playoff spot in year 3 is a sound expectation for Summerall. Should he flounder in year 2 and 3, we might need to look for another coach. Under the current atmosphere of NIL and colleges paying football players, any player receiving payment is a pro, based on the definition. Now, any player can change colleges at any time they want to, so if a player declares for the draft and for some reason decides to return to college, why shouldn't he get the same treatment of any other eligible player currently playing if they have a year of eligibility left? Why penalize the player for wanting to play in the NFL but changing his mind? There should be no rule to keep him from returning to college. I'm sure some antitrust rule would apply and why the courts will fine for the player. If a businessman wants to leave his company for a new company and finds that he wants to return to his first company, there's no rule to prevent this. There's a big rule to prevent that, Bob. What company in their right mind would rehire somebody after they left? How many people you think would do that? Hello? Listen, Tyler's the CEO. Tyler, I hate to say it, but I'm out. I'm going for another job. Okay? Thank you for letting me work for you, but I'm going to go get a job. Then 2 weeks later, hello, Tyler, just kidding. I want to come back. If Tyler has a brain in his head, he's going to say, no, you left. I've already filled the position. Thank you. But I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority there, but I know. So I'm not quite sure about that part, Bob. I get where you're going. I'm not sure that you just say, take me back. I don't know. All right. We'll take a break. We come back. I mentioned earlier, I had the privilege to be invited to Coach Spurrier's 60th wedding anniversary celebration last night. And a lot of his former coaches, players, etc., were there. You're going to hear from one of his quarterbacks. That's coming up next. You're listening to Sports Scene, brought to you this hour by Domino's Pizza on WRUF. Friends, if somebody's been in business for 45 plus years, doesn't that tell you something? Trust, longevity. Well, that is the case with my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville. The Cousins family has operated that business for the past 45 plus years, and they specialize in just one thing. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Great variety, great selection. I'm driving one now, have been for years. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
For 60 years, GW Homes has been building beautiful homes and helping families build great lives right here in Alachua County. GW Homes is Alachua County's luxury home builder, known for exceptional craftsmanship, thoughtful design, and a commitment to quality. And as a proud third-generation family-owned company, they know what it means to build for generations. Ready to build your dream home? Visit the GW Homes model this weekend or talk with a GW Homes team member today. Explore more at gwhomes.com. That's gwhomes.com.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
At International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange, you'll find transparent pricing, same-day evaluations, expert craftsmanship, and a team committed to treating every customer with honesty and respect. And you never know who you'll see shopping there. Music stars, sports stars, and savvy collectors all know where to go when they're searching for exceptional value and luxury timepieces. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, or restoring a treasured piece, visit International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange on West University Avenue in Gainesville.
Gainesville's best-kept secret is finally being revealed. Introducing Sensei Asian Bistro. Located in Celebration Point next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Sensei delivers a one-of-a-kind Japanese-French fusion experience that's as refined as it is unforgettable. Indulge in signature dishes like our smoked New York strip, Chilean sea bass, matcha curry, or the crave-worthy chunggang chili chicken. Pair it all with handcrafted cocktails, fresh crudo oysters, or our premium A5 Wagyu tataki. Sensei Asian Bistro. Make your reservation today.
This summer, Hard Rock Bet has the hottest baseball betting odds in Florida. Vig, juice, fee, whatever you call it, we're cutting it. It's the 10-cent summer sale. That's flat 10-cent lines for winner, spread, and over-under pregame bets. Same bets, better odds. This August, only on Hard Rock Bet.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Valid for moneyline, spread and over. Under pregame markets with odds between -250 and +250 only. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Gator football returns September 5th, right here on WRUF.
God bless Steven Tyler, baby. Welcome back to Sports Scene. Let's get Facebook Live question brought to you by Ruzover State Farm. 79 grad, only two teams where some betting lines have Florida not favored forward within 2 points of a push, Texas and Georgia. John on Facebook, do you think some of the players that went pro would have if they knew they had a fifth year beforehand? I think that would be up to the individual player, John. But I think if they felt that from a draft status standpoint, they would not have been a high draft choice, might have returned to school. International Diamond Center emailed Todd when discussing how this offense needs to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers, whether it's ball or the wide receivers. It's important the offensive line do its job. That's the point I was making, yes. I've always felt Florida had enough talent. My question the last 10 or 12 years was the coaching, development, and scheme. But if the offensive line's not up to par, I still believe there's a way to scheme, run and pass quicker, getting playmakers in space. Without knowing much on Faulkner, do you believe this offensive scheme can adapt and overcome to a subpar offensive line? First of all, Todd, we'll see, because I think Phil Troutwine's a heck of a coach. I think that was a huge hire. Not because he's a Gator, but he did a great job at Penn State. So can he make in your words, a subpar offensive line at least palatable? But certainly, if you feel like you can't sit there with your quarterback and scan the field, well, then you have to adapt offensively. If you don't, you're asking for trouble. So as a play caller, part of what you scheme up is based on what you think your quarterback's going to get in terms of time. So I just think that's a I don't want to say no-brainer, but, you got to do what as a play caller, what you think your offense can do. And speaking of that, look, somebody asked me earlier about starters, okay? I think we know the quarterback situation. I won't even go into that. And I think the running back room is deep. Behind Baugh, if I had to guess who the number 2 would be, it'd be Pryor, right? He played at Cincinnati, was a starter. And then remember, Duke Clark is still here. I think they're pretty good. The wide receiver room, I think we all know. Don't need to go into that. Tight ends, unproven. Hanson's gone. Livingston's gone. I don't know. There are 8 tight ends on the roster. Probably Amir Jackson would be the top one, I think. But there needs to be a little better, some depth there. And again, the offensive line, Harrison Moore is going to be the center, and he's going to replace Jake Slaughter. I think Harris is going to be a starter. Bryce Lovett's got a chance at right guard. And then at tackle, there's a bunch of guys that are there. I'm not sure. You got a transfer from Stanford there. You got Boyer there. Who am I missing? Dice is there. So I think that's an area where you may see some flux for Phil to get the right people there that he feels are there. All right, I mentioned going to Spurrier's event last night, and it was fascinating to me because there were, again, when you're married for 60 years, God bless Steve and Jerry, you meet a whole bunch of people. But the athletes that were there came from different eras. One of them played quarterback for Steve at Duke. His name, Ben Bennett. Had a chance to have a conversation with him. Ben, a quarterback with Coach Spurrier at Duke. I guess the obvious question, Ben, your memories of playing for Coach Spurrier.
I have been very fortunate. I played with a genius as a coach. Now, when he first started as an offensive coordinator, he had all that knowledge inside him, but he wasn't really quite sure how to get it across. So the content was top-notch, but delivery was a little rugged. And the problem that I ran into is that Steve and I have very similar personalities, very similar egos. And I thought I knew everything after calling all my plays in high school. It took me a little while to figure out he did know everything.
What did you learn from him?
Fundamentals. When I was in high school, if you put my game tape on from when I was in high school, there's not a single college in the country that would recruit me. My drop back, my fundamentals, everything I did compared to what Steve taught was wrong. And when I came out there, having scored as many points as my school did and having won as many games, I'm like, well, you can't change what I'm doing. I'm cleaning house. And so we would go through an entire practice, and he would chirp at me about my fundamentals. We'd get done with practice, and we'd do the conditioning. So after 2.5 hours in the heat and the humidity, I'm dead. I'm ready to go in the locker room and lay down and pass out. He goes, all right, I need you to go over there. I need you to give me 50 step drops. I need you to give me 55 step drops, and I want you to give me 25 7-step drops. And I'm like, you so-and-so. And truthfully, I thought it was punishment. And I just thought it was the most ludicrous thing I'd ever seen. But after you've done those drops, and you've done them 50, 100, 1,000, 10,000 times, when you're in a game and you're tired, your body remembers exactly what you need to do. And his offense is based on timing. You need to hit a certain spot at a certain time, and you need to let that thing go because your receiver's coming into a window. And if you had horrible fundamentals, if you didn't do the drops correctly, if you didn't time things up, you missed everything. And so he taught me the basics of being a quarterback.
What was Duke like before Steve?
I wasn't there before. I've only heard the stories. I know when I got there, my first game against East Carolina, I started as a true freshman, 18 years old, wet behind the ears. I got sacked 9 times by East Carolina, and we had the ball 18 minutes in the total game. They had it for 40-some, and they beat us down. And as I'm walking off the field, I'd never been beaten like that in my life. I mean, physically and mentally. And as I'm walking off the field and I'm in the locker room, I hear guys that are seniors and juniors are, oh, we're going to this frat party tonight, and we're going to do this, and I'm going to see this girl, blah, blah, blah. And I was beyond mad. I said something in the locker room after the coaches walked out. And all of the players looked at me like, who the hell is this kid? And why is he saying things that he's saying? I was mad. And I was mad because very few other people on the team were mad that we got killed. We didn't just get beat. We got embarrassed. And they were like, oh, we're going here, we're doing that, and blah, 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 like nothing had ever happened. And it was, Spurrier found out about it afterwards, and he was a little upset. He goes, you can't talk to your teammates like that. I'm like, Coach, I said, I don't care if they hate me. I said, as long as they play harder than they played yesterday. So I can't tell you what it was like before I got there. I can tell you what the upperclassmen were like when I played with them as a freshman, and I didn't much like their attitude, their work ethic. I didn't like any of that.
When you left after playing for Coach Spurrier, did you think, as a young player, sometimes you don't think about it, but when you left and you played for him, did you think back on what he taught you?
100%. There's nothing that I did as a player or nothing I did as a coach that was disassociated from Coach Spurrier. His fundamentals, the way that he coached was different than the way that I coached, but I coached with that in mind because different players respond to different impetus. And I responded the way that I did just out of pure stubbornness. I wasn't going to have him yell at me anymore. But other guys will hear certain things that he would say and they would shrink away. So I learned the basics of the game. I learned the fundamentals of playing quarterback. I learned the things that you impart to your team are very important, but how you impart them to your team might be equally as important as the knowledge that you give to them.
I couldn't wait to ask this because in that room, there's a lot of Coach Spurrier's quarterbacks. Do you kibitz with them at all?
I talked to Danny Werfel. I drove up to from Orlando. I went up to came up here to Gainesville to see him play when they played South Carolina, and they won 20-10. And I happened to be sitting in Coach Spurrier's office afterwards, waiting for him to come in, and he had a beer in his hand, and he came up in his grays, and he's like, "Well, Danny didn't do this, and Danny didn't do that." And I said, "Coach, you know that guy's going to win the Heisman Trophy, right?" He goes, "Yeah, but he didn't do this. He did." And it's amazing that what he said to me were exactly the same things that he was saying to Danny. Now, Danny won a Heisman Trophy, okay? So you might think, oh, he'll cut him slack. Not an inch of slack did he cut him, because he has a certain ideal in his mind of what his quarterback should be and what they should do. And if you don't do those things, he's disappointed in you. Now, he doesn't always dog cuss you, but he wants you to try to do the things that he believes you can. And when you fall short of that, it frustrates him.
Pleasure to talk to you. Thank you, Ben.
My pleasure.
Good dude. Really good dude. And you know what? When I talked to him, I knew who he was. And actually, we sat at the same table and conversed. And when he left college, he was the top passer in the history of the NCAA at the time. Most passes attempted, most passes completed, most yard, over 9,500 yards. He surpassed marks set by people like John Elway, Jim McMahon. He left with 7 NCAA, 15 ACC, and 42 school records. So, I mean, pretty prolific. And you heard what he said about Coach Spurrier. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll have more. Want to hear from you. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
The John Sumrall era begins this September. Catch every game right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, We are your home for Gator sports.
Your heart health matters. That's why Titan MRI and Imaging and Gainesville Open MRI are offering a coronary calcium scan for just $99. This quick, painless CT scan takes about 15 minutes and can help identify calcified plaque in your heart's arteries, giving you valuable insight to your future heart attack risk. The results provide a calcium score that can help your doctor determine the best preventive care plan for you. Schedule your scan today at GainesvilleOpenMRI.com. Live longer, live healthier. Titan MRI and Imaging with 3 convenient locations in Gainesville and Lake City, serving you better.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Craving bold, authentic Cuban flavor? Head to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings the taste of Cuba straight to your table. From iconic Cuban sandwiches and fresh flaky empanadas to rich café con leche and perfectly sweet plantains. Every dish is made fresh daily for a true Latin experience. Proudly serving the community for over 23 years. And a proud supporter of the Florida Gators, Mi Apa now features 6 convenient locations ready to welcome you. Dine-in, drive-thru, to-go, or catering, Mi Apa is your choice for crowd-pleasing Cuban favorites. Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami.
You know you're doing something right when your customers tell their friends and neighbors about you. That's why Ruse Ogre State Farm is proud to announce the opening of their second location, 25527 West Newberry Road in Newberry. From auto and home insurance to life insurance and more, if you're in Gainesville, Ruse can help you. And now if you're in Newberry, Ruse can help you. Ruse and his team thanks you for your trust, your referrals, and your support. Visit either of their 2 locations or call to get your personalized quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
I see a rector and I want it painted black.
No colors anymore. I want them to turn black. Yeah. Welcome back. The Stones get you back to the show here. You know, I wonder what you guys think. You know, like, no rap music or anything today. What do y'all, does that educate you at all? I mean, when you hear that stuff? Okay, all right. Just, because I can understand, because I've told this story a lot. You know, when I was a kid and my mom listened to what she listened to, it was like, ugh. But it wasn't rock and roll. At least that's rock and roll, as opposed to what, anyway. Bob said, I didn't understand the last paragraph. I think I did understand the last paragraph, but he says, I didn't say the old company would be happy to reemploy him. I said there's no rule preventing him from returning. Okay. Patrick says he has UF going 9-3, and he's watching the Tennis Channel now. Why are you watching well, you can watch the Tennis Channel as long as you listen. And I guess you are. So that's good. Later in the week, we're going to have some more of the high school football coaches. We are, and again, I'm not hating here, but how many days are we out from a football game now? And I'm still waiting to hear from Florida Atlantic to try to get their coach or somebody that covers the team or somebody to give you and me some information when it comes to that. Hopefully, we will. And we're also waiting on some ESPN, SEC Network type guests as well. Don't forget, tonight, Rays continue their 3-game series. They won game 1 last night against the Tigres. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock. The Rays up 3.5 on the Yanks in the AL East. And don't forget, with the first game very close this season, a great new way to listen to the home radio broadcast. The reason? We won't have a delay. Yeah, how cool is that? Imagine sitting in the swamp, listening to the game, seeing the play, hearing the play in real time. Here's how it works. You open your WRUF mobile app. On the bottom right, you click the football icon that says In Game. Then click Play. Simple as that. You have a real-time, up-to-the-second play-by-play from Sean and Shane and the rest of the crew. You can download the WRUF mobile app for free in your app store. So that is a very cool thing. Again, if I want to hear from you a little bit on what I talked about earlier on, in case you're just tuning in, all this stuff going on here, the SEC looking like it's probably going to do what the Big Ten is about to do, or maybe already did, in not allowing these guys to come back to college. The Big Ten going to bar NFL players from returning. The SEC has already come out and said that they don't favor that either. We'll see if they do something similar to what the Big Ten does. And here's the other thing. What if the other conferences don't do that? Will the NCAA allow players to come back to some conferences if some other conferences say, we don't want you? It's crazy. Crazy. Let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Porter, hello.
Hey, Steve. I'm probably just missing something, but you talk about the live feed of the games. I mean, that's the way it was when we only had over the air. And I know most places they even had, very small amplification to listen to the home feed, on the road, just right around the stadium. Why did they lose that? I understand streaming needing to delay or that kind of thing, but why wouldn't it just? What was wrong with just
it didn't work
doing regular broadcast live?
It didn't work, and there was never a way. They tried it to sync it up, but again, Porter, I mean, with all respect to you,
sure.
Why worry about that?
Back in the day,
yeah. Why worry about that? It's gone.
Gotcha. I was just even baseball. We'd listen at the McKeith and listen to the feed, and it was live. And I just figured with needing to be able to stream it and do everything else, I just didn't understand why they had to put the delay in, built it into the over the air. But I'm sure there's a reason. I was just curious because it seems like that's what we had before. But that's good if it accommodates them and the people out of the area. That's I guess the main goal. So
the main goal is to listen to the game in the stadium live. That's the main goal. Period. Paragraph. End of story. That's what this is.
At home.
I don't know about on the road, but I know here.
Right. Well, I just don't understand because we used to be able to do that anyway. I was just curious.
Your nails on a chalkboard here, okay?
Gotcha.
Be happy. You can walk in the swamp and do this. That's the whole idea of doing this. Why worry about what happened in 1992? No one cares now. With all respect to you.
Gotcha.
Okay. Appreciate you, Porter. Thank you. Embrace this. We don't care why it didn't work before. We care about if it's going to work now. That's the whole purpose of this. And believe me, as one person who was here during all of that, believe me, lots of different things were tried. So, anyway, be that as it may. All right, let's get an email from Joe. He says, I can't believe he's asking this. We haven't even started football yet, Joe. He said, are you planning to have Coach Golden on at any time? Yes. When the season gets a little bit closer, yes. Let's start football. Let's get that sort of cranked up. Let's start volleyball, get that cranked up. And then, yes, we will have, I hope, Coach Golden. It's not going to be for a little while. I will give you the exact date because he's busy. But we are going to have the new UF president live in studio here. So that'll be next month. But I can't wait to meet him. And I'll ask him some sports-related questions. He's kind of busy now. But I wanted to get time with him here. He's been kind enough to agree to do that. And that'll be coming up in about a month, give or take. But looking forward to that. Dan emails. He said, Steve, I know you like talking MLB and a lot of people don't, but let me ask you about your Mets. Where do you see them going? I see them going home at the end of the year because they're not going to be in the playoffs. This is going to be a huge year for them because obviously the way that they constructed the roster this past year did not work. So where do they go? I mean, they're playing a little better now, but this is not a roster, as it is, that's going to win a championship. It's not. So I wish I could answer that question, but I would just say that they're going to have some different kind of, what's the manager going to do, all of that. So have to wait and see. And then I got I waited for another one. Bill, you've been asked about the Rays, and you say that you really like the Rays. Do you really believe they are serious World Series contenders? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I mean, look, I think it's great for baseball when you have the Brewers, the Rays, teams like that are not big market teams that are right in the middle of this. I think it's really cool. Tony, who do you think will be our starting quarterback versus Florida Atlantic? Well, we already know who that is. So, once again, Mr. Philo will take on that. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We're going to end the show. Another one of Coach Spurrier's quarterbacks that he coached. Coach went and coached for a little bit at Georgia Tech. One of his quarterbacks there you'll hear from next as you listen to Sports Scene on WRUF.
Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between a minor sprain and a significant issue. The team at UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide expert orthopedic care with locations in Gainesville and Ocala for everything from walk-in treatments to specialized surgeries and complex cases. Choose the providers who care for Team USA. Visit ufhealth.org/orthoexperts to learn more. Proud provider for the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Medical Network.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear?
Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville and you'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
At Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC, 2026 GMC Sierra $399 per month, 2026 Chevy Silverado $379 per month. Plus get 0% financing for 60 months and no payments for 90 days on new Chevy Silverado. Come see us today at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC and GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $69.99 due at signing, plus tax, tag, title, and dock. All rebates and incentives to dealer may include loyalty, subject to lender approval. $16.66 per thousand financed at 0 APR for 60 months. Offers don't combine. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
The head ball coach scores again. Steve Spurrier's head beer coach 1966 American Lager is now available everywhere at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Smooth and refreshing with just enough of a crisp finish. Also available at most places you buy beer. If you don't see it, ask for it.
A beer made by Gators for Gators. Make a great play and enjoy a cold one today.
Steve Spurrier's head beer coach 1966 American Lager. Please drink responsibly.
Hey Gainesville, tired of big banks that don't know your name? Meet Galabank. Locally owned, locally operated, with over 350 years of combined experience, we're here to help our neighbors, not just customers. No call centers, no appointments necessary, no sign-in sheets, and anyone can cash a check on us. No extra charge. Local bank, local people. Galabank. Find us at 7515 West University Avenue off Tower Road. Galabank. Member FDIC.
Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville? Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center is just steps from the Swamp, the closest hotel to UF. With 6 stylish floors of brand new everything, we've been completely renovated and fully remodeled for your comfort. Enjoy the best guest services in town, competitive rates, and a location you just can't beat. And don't forget about our rooftop pool. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. Visit us online today for details and booking.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Cloud cover increasing through the afternoon. Temperatures today in the lower 90s, 92 in Gainesville. We'll start to see storms pop up near the Gulf Coast, and storms that develop today will generally track from west to east across our area. A few storms this evening could be on the stronger side. Then tonight, a few showers lingering through about midnight. Temperatures falling to the lower 70s. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
Tyler, do we have time for the interview? Because if not, I can just run it. We do? Okay. I mentioned Coach Spurrier's 60th wedding anniversary last night. I got a chance to go to that, and a lot of his former players were there. One of them was a quarterback when Steve played at Georgia Tech, Mike Kelly. Here's my conversation with him. Mike, I know Coach Spurrier at Georgia Tech. You were a quarterback there under Coach Spurrier. What are your memories of him?
Well, he basically taught me how to play the game of quarterback. Yeah, he had all kind of insight. He of course, I was one of his test rats, if you will. But he taught us a lot of good things.
What was it like playing for him?
It was fun, just prolific. He does this everywhere he goes. He always took young men and gave them the good food.
When you worked under his system, was it easy to work with in terms of X's and O's? Was it an easy thing to do?
Absolutely. Great teacher. Put you up there in front of the whole team and say, draw the X's and O's and tell me what you do to convert. And, you either sank or you swam, so and they put the pressure on you, and you kind of gain the confidence, or you lost the confidence of your players and your teammates.
Was he tough on you?
Oh, yeah.
In what way?
He expected a lot. He called his game, and he usually was right. You get beat physically, but mentally, he expects you to be there all the time. So he gave you you were put in a good position to be successful.
When he taught you, he would, I would guess, say, hey, this is where the ball's going to go, this is what your read should be, etc. Was it easy for you to pick that up?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can remember, back when he was coaching at Tech, he was fresh out of the NFL, basically, a couple years or whatever, but he would go out there and show us, literally show us how to do it, whether it was looking off safety, how to set, how to, your efficient drops, your deliveries, footwork, everything.
We all know Coach would be a little hard on his quarterback sometimes. Was he that way with you?
Yeah, but, in the day, we had just gone from the wishbone a couple years before, so I was really the only prototype that had to go with. So he's basically stuck with me. So, yeah.
All these years later, you're here back, for this ceremony here with the wedding anniversary. Do you stay in touch with Coach, and just your overall memories of him?
We were honored to get an invitation from one of his daughters, both of them, and they somehow found us, emailed us, sent us a mailed-in invitation. And I looked at my wife and said, "We going?" She goes, "You bet. Wouldn't miss it for the world."
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for taking the time to let me take the time.
Okay. Appreciate you. Yeah, he's a different dude, but he's a good guy. Mike Kelly at Georgia Tech. Coach Spurrier was hired, remember, by Coach Dickey, and then he worked under Pepper Rogers at Georgia Tech, and that's where he had Mike Kelly there. By the way, Harlan and Daniel both emailed, International Diamond Center email, and both said something like, thanks for bringing listeners inside the swamp with the sinking. Listening to Shane during the game and hearing what he says is pretty great. As the years go, I don't want the times where people listening to the radio broadcast die, so we don't either. And again, I think it'll allow more people to bring their stuff to the stadium to listen, because you can do it in real time. And I think that's the beauty of all this. BB says, concerning the SEC probably ruling out NFL players playing, does that mean I need to text Drew Brees back and tell him never mind? Probably. Yeah. And then John, who is a pretty regular emailer, she's been MIA, but a quick question. I'll do this tomorrow, John. This is a great question. In your opinion, who currently is the best pro athlete who went to UF? His answer would be Ben Shelton, with Pete Alonso second. So I'll throw that out tomorrow, but get ready. I'll do it again today. His question, who currently is the best pro athlete who went to UF? So I guess, pro football player, pro basketball player, whoever, tennis, whatever sport you're talking, that went to UF. It has to be a current player, not Tim Tebow or Steve Spurrier or somebody, a current player. Pretty interesting question. And we'll have that tomorrow. Also tomorrow, one more interview with one of Coach Spurrier's quarterbacks, my buddy, Noah Brindise. And if you have listened to the station over the years, Noah was on the pregame show with me for a few years before he moved. He's got a successful business now down south. So a pleasure to catch up with him last night, and you'll hear from him tomorrow. Also tomorrow, some of the other high school coaches in the area as we begin week 2 of the football season in high school. So that'll be coming up tomorrow, and we look forward to that always. And we're trying to get some SEC Network people to come on during the week as well. Hope to get Mary Wise here to talk not just Gator volleyball, but college volleyball in general, since that's part of her gig now. And we look forward to all of that. One last International Diamond Center email here. Steve says, what do you think Florida's record will be during the year? I've said this. I think 8-4. If I had to guess today, that can certainly change as I see Florida play and see some of the other teams play. If they won 9, wouldn't surprise me. But again, I think like a lot of people, I want to see what the offensive line does. I want to see, some other positions that, are a little bit more questionable and see how they do when the pedal hits the metal. But again, I think when in the AP Top 25 poll, Florida's number 27, that means somebody thinks Florida has some talent. And I think that means something. So we will certainly see. That's our show for today. Thanks to Tyler for producing it. Thanks to you for consuming it. Don't go anywhere. Kevin and the Sports Lab gang are next. I'll see you tomorrow for a Wednesday edition of Sports Scene. You're listening to WRUF. Enjoy the rest of your day.